We're just going to do one more example real quick. Polly's parents' car weighs about 3,500 pounds. They know that because Polly and her friends got together, Samantha, Esther, and Polly. Those three friends got together and they each lifted a third of it, and they estimated it to be about 3,500 pounds. Which means they were all lifting more than 1,100 pounds. That's pretty good. They're strong girls. Strong humans. Each wrote the weight of the car in scientific notation. Polly wrote 35.0 times 10 squared, Samantha wrote 0.35 times 10 to the fourth, and Esther wrote 3.5 times 10 to the fourth. Which of these girls, if any, is correct? And I would like you to try and solve this first. I do these videos so that you can see how to do them, but I want you to try them and see if you do them correctly. And it's okay to make mistakes. And that's how we learn. We learn a lot more from our mistakes than from just staring at it and saying we don't know how to do it. So I'm going to do three things. I'm going to convert, maybe it's four things. I'm going to convert the 3,500 pounds to what I know scientific notation to be. And I know scientific notation, we have to be between 1 and 10 for our first number. So 35 is not between 1 and 10. But 3.5 is. So I'm going to use 3.5 times 10, and then what is my exponent? Well, if I start between the 3 and the 5, I go over 1, 2, 3 times. So 3.5 times 10 to the third power. Okay, so then I'm going to compare this with my other ones. I'm also going to write those out in standard form to compare them to 3,500, because some of them might be the right number, they're just not written correctly in scientific notation. Okay, so the first one, they have 35 times 10 squared. Well, 35 times 10 squared, we know it's not scientific notation because 35 is not between 1 and 10. So, sorry, 1 and 10, not including 10. It's really 1 through 9. Anyway, 35, but we can still do 35 times 10 to the second power. And that would just move our decimal 2 times, and that does equal 3,500 pounds. So she was right on the weight, but not in how she wrote scientific notation. She didn't do that part correctly. Samantha, similarly, wrote 0.35 times 10 to the fourth. So 0.35 times 10 to the fourth, not scientific notation because 0.35 is not between 1 and 10, is not 1 through 9, right? It's less than 1, so it doesn't work. But as far as the number being correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would give us 3,500. So the number is correct, but not scientific notation. So not scientific notation, not scientific notation. 3.5 times 10 to the fourth, yes, scientific notation, but let's see what that comes out to be. So if we take our 3.5 and I move it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, that's going to give me 35,000 pounds, which is, 10 times as much. So 10 of Polly's cars would weigh 35,000 pounds. So she was just off in her exponent. She had the form correct, but her exponent wasn't correct. So none of them matched the actual scientific notation, which was 3.5 times 10 to the third power. Okay, hopefully that helps. Hopefully you're getting really good with the scientific notation and going back and forth and remembering what your decimal needs to look like. The next lesson we'll actually talk about the really small numbers. So this one we were focusing on the large numbers, then we're going to start focusing on the really small numbers. And it's the same idea, but instead of positive exponents, we're going to use negative exponents. Because if you remember, as we go down in the exponents, we divide. When we go up, we're multiplying. When we go down, we're dividing. And so we'll show how that works in the upcoming lesson.